Well, hello everybody and welcome back down to my allotment. I'm down here today. It's actually quite a lovely, beautiful sunny day. But as you can tell, I am inside Uncle Tim's greenhouse. It's time, and I said this when I took you on a tour, I have a good tidy up in here and just get this ready for the growing season. We may not be able to glaze it, but we can still use it for growing space. So, well, let's get on with it. I've got some secateurs because we've got quite a few brambles, but I've also grabbed my gloves because I've seen a hairy caterpillar in here, and hairy caterpillars are known for irritating skins, so I think it's very important that we wear gloves. Right, I'm going to crack on. I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. Well, the temperature's suddenly got up a bit while I've been tidying up inside this greenhouse. I had to take my coat off. Now, I say inside this greenhouse, we haven't got glass on all four sides or on the roof, so not really inside. It's very much open to the elements, this greenhouse. As I've said time and time before, I haven't got it glazed yet. It's going to cost several £100 to glaze this if I was to buy the glass brand new, and I'm reluctant to do that. It's an allotment at the end of the day. It shouldn't cost a fortune to have stuff on here, plus it's likely to get broken and stolen. At home it's not so much of an issue, but here on the allotment it very much is a case of being a little bit on the stingy side. There's a cost with that. Trying to get free glass planes do take a while, especially with this greenhouse having funny sizes. Anyway, what I've tidied up in here, got rid of all the brambles and everything else, and I've laid down a load of cardboard and even found a bag of compost I've just placed down. We will add more compost over the coming weeks. This greenhouse is going to be used for growing tomatoes, so they're going to have to really class them as outdoor tomatoes. But for the time being, I'm just bringing in my onions from the other greenhouse into here to start to harden off. My onions at the moment, these were sown on Christmas Day, and to me they're just looking a little bit small to really go outside. They seem very, very slow this year, I've got to say. Maybe I'm just not used to growing from seed. I usually do like to grow from sets, and I've always struggled with growing onions from seed. But for now, it will do the job that I need it to do. So what I'm going to start doing now is doing exactly the same in the gooseberry bush area. So the gooseberry area, as you can see, it's pretty full of brambles, which isn't very good at all. This is one of those areas on this area of the allotment that, like the very top, has been a little difficult for me to really tackle and keep tidy, which isn't very good, I have to admit. We planted these gooseberries in as soon as I got this allotment, if I remember correctly, so that's going back 9 years ago, but we never really prepared the ground properly. I was in too much of a rush just to get stuff growing. It's one of those things when you have limits or targets. When you take on an allotment, you often have to get certain areas cultivated within a certain time frame, which I think adds extra pressure. And it's done for a good reason, I'm sure, but it also, I think, adds extra pressure just to make it look like something is happening on your allotment so you don't lose it. And that was the mistake I made when taking on this allotment. So what I've really got to do, just keep cutting down at these brambles, these blackberries, until we can actually see the ground and really then figure a plan out on what to do for the future. Well, it's a little bit better now. We've sort of cleared away a lot of the brambles as much as we could. had a bit of a hoe around the bottom. That's cleared away some of the weeds. We do need to trim the grass, which is, if the weather stays like this, we should be able to do that pretty soon and get the lawnmower out and clean everything up. So yeah, and hopefully next weekend we can cut the grass depending on the weather, and that'll just tidy this up. And then we've got to decide what to do with all these gooseberry plants. There's 3 gooseberry plants here. Gooseberries being quite thorny and what have you are difficult, I find, to really get in there and clear out any of the weeds without getting pricked. So I've got to decide, do I want to keep growing gooseberries? We do eat a few gooseberries. Do I want to keep growing these gooseberries, or do I dig them up after replanting some somewhere else? I'm not sure just yet. Not sure, but it's given me some grounds to think about what to do. Right, on that note, I'm going to head on home. I've done for the day, run out of time. It's time for our lunch. So please keep tuned, and I'll see you again next time on. Don't forget to like and subscribe.